Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're jumping right into the sheer drama of the recent Practice Cup tournament. If you love a high-stakes morning on the lanes packed with unbelievable shot making, well, you're in exactly the right place. We're going to crunch the numbers, track those wild momentum shifts, and figure out exactly how this fiercely competitive morning crowned a brand new champion. We've got some fantastic data to unpack, so let's get right into it. Right off the bat, we've got to talk about the elephant in the room, or, the elephant that wasn't in the room. Defending champ Paul, he was out. He couldn't make it. And honestly, his absence became the defining storyline before a single bowling ball even hit the wood. Think about it. When the defending champ isn't there, it totally flips the psychology of the whole tournament. Suddenly, there's an empty throne. The door is wide open, and every single bowler in that building knows a new winner is guaranteed. The pressure ramps up, the field is wide open, and the immediate question on everyone's mind is, who's going to step up and take the crown? Okay, let's dive into this with Section 1, the explosive start. Joe B sets the pace. And when there's an empty throne, someone's got to claim it, right? Well, Joe B made an immediate, undeniable statement, a 277. He wasted absolutely no time taking control. Now, in tournament bowling, dropping a 277 in your very first game isn't just a good start. It is a full-on declaration. It sets this incredibly furious pace for everyone else. Imagine being on the lane next to him, watching him string together strike after strike right out of the gate. That puts the whole building on notice. Joe B practically yelled championship from the second his foot hit the approach.
But look, we all know one hot game is only a piece of the puzzle in a multi-game series. The real test of a champion is what you do with that early momentum. And Joe, he didn't just coast. He used that early control as a launch pad and built an insurmountable lead. The psychology of front running is actually super tough. Knowing the entire field is actively gunning for your spot, that usually makes players bowl tentatively, playing not to lose instead of playing to win. But Joe handled that pressure flawlessly. He never once gave up the advantage all the way to securing the title.
Now let's shift gears to part 2, the late challenge and a run for high game honors. So while Joe was looking virtually untouchable for the overall series, there was this totally different, insanely dramatic subplot brewing in the later stages of the tournament. The overall crown might have had Joe's name penciled on it, but the battle for the single highest game of the day, that was getting spicy. In Game 3, Dave M comes out of nowhere and fires a massive 279. I mean, imagine the tension. Just when everyone assumed Joe had firmly locked in the high score in Game 1, Dave orchestrates this incredible highlight reel surge late in the morning. It's exactly the kind of clutch shot making that makes tournament bowling so fun to watch. Now, what's really interesting about this matchup is how razor-thin the margin actually was. You've got Joe's explosive opening statement, that 277, going head-to-head with Dave's dramatic Game 3 answer of a 279. Dave literally edged out Joe's opener by just 2 pins to steal the high game honors for the tournament. 2 pins! To put that in perspective, that's just a single spare conversion, or maybe just a slightly better pin carry on one strike. That's all that separated the 2 best games of the entire Practice Cup. It just perfectly captures how high the level of execution really was out there. Which brings us to Section 3, the final tally, and crowning a new champion. When the dust finally settled, Joe B was sitting pretty at the very top, clinching the championship with a stellar 705 series. That opening 277 gave him such a massive cushion, it pretty much carried him straight to the win. Meanwhile, Dave M's strong finish, powered by that spectacular 279, propelled him safely into second place with a 651 series. And rounding out the podium, we have Bruce. Now, Bruce might not have had that single explosive game like Joe or Dave, but his incredible consistency earned him a really solid 644 series, keeping him right on the leader's heels the whole morning. So let's zoom out and look at the whole field, really getting a complete picture of the morning. We've got our top 3, Joe B dominating at 705, Dave M at 651, and Bruce right there at 644. But just behind them, Wes had a fantastic showing, barely missing the 600 mark with a 598 series. Then, right in the middle of the pack, we saw some really tight competition. Herbert at 559, Kip with a 523, and Addison at 517, all clustered together in the 500s. And of course, Dave B rounded out our 8-player roster with a 372. You need a full competitive roster to make a tournament great, and this gives us a fantastic snapshot of how everyone stacked up. All right, let's tie this all together. We had an empty throne,
a blistering opening pace, and a dramatic late-game surge. What really stands out to me is how all these elements collided to create a classic, practically scripted sports narrative. Here are our main takeaways. First, defending champ Paul being out fundamentally changed the landscape. It created this immediate vacuum and a real hunger for a new leader. Second, Joe B didn't just win, he completely dominated early on. He capitalized on the opportunity from frame one and front-ran his way to a 705 series. And finally, Dave M kept the pressure cooking by answering late, snagging high-game honors with that 279 and locking up second place. It's basically your perfect three-act structure: opportunity, dominance, and a late-stage challenge.
Which leaves us looking down the road. And honestly, the future is looking super compelling. The Practice Cup has a brand new reigning champion in Joe B, who clearly proved he can drop massive scores when the pressure is on. But the former champion is still out there. So I'm going to leave you with this to chew on. The next time Paul comes back to the lanes, can Joe B defend his brand new throne against the former champ? I mean, it is the ultimate setup for a massive rivalry, and it guarantees the next iteration of the Practice Cup is going to be absolutely unmissable. Thanks so much for joining me to break this all down. And hey, keep visualizing those strikes.